Welcome to Fluent with AI, where real conversations are combined with intelligent English practice. Let's speak better and smarter with AI.
Hey folks. Welcome to Fluent with AI, the podcast where English meets storytelling, humor meets hustle. I'm Nancy, your friendly English coach from the future. Let me paint you a picture from my early career days. I'm in a boardroom, trying to impress my new colleagues with my impeccable business English. The CEO asks for my thoughts on quarterly projections, and I confidently declare, I think we should leverage our core competencies to synergize our value propositions and ideate some out-of-the-box solutions for maximum ROI optimization. Dead silence. 20 pairs of eyes staring at me like I'd just spoken in ancient Klingon. My boss later pulled me aside and said, "You sound like you swallowed a business dictionary and threw it back up." That's when I realized there's a difference between sounding professional and sounding like a malfunctioning corporate buzzword generator. Before AI rescued me from myself, my business English was a disaster wrapped in jargon, sprinkled with corporate speak, and served with a side of confusion. I thought professionalism meant using the biggest, most complicated words possible. I would facilitate ideation sessions instead of brainstorming. I'd optimize workflows when I meant make things work better. I once told a client we needed to maximize our deliverables value proposition through strategic partnership leverage. The client asked if I was having a stroke. The worst part? I got all this nonsense from business blogs that seemed to be written by robots for robots. Every sentence was stuffed with more buzzwords than a startup pitch deck. I was like a parrot that had learned to speak corporate, but nobody had taught me what any of it actually meant. My emails were particularly tragic. I'd write things like, "As per our previous conversation, I wanted to circle back and touch base regarding the actionable insights we discussed." Translation: remember that thing we talked about? Let's talk about it again. Then I discovered that AI could help me practice business English that actually sounded human. Not the kind of AI that spits out generic corporate templates, but the kind that could help me understand the difference between being professional and being a walking LinkedIn post. I started by asking my AI assistant to help me rewrite my horrible business communications. When I showed it my synergize our core competencies email, it practically laughed, if AI could laugh. It suggested something revolutionary: why don't we work together on this project? Mind blown, the AI taught me that business English isn't about using fancy words to hide simple ideas. It's about communicating complex ideas with clarity and confidence. It's the difference between saying, "We need to ideate solutions," and "We need to solve this problem." I began practicing different business scenarios with AI. Mock meetings, email responses, presentation outlines, everything. The best part? AI never got tired of my questions, never rolled its eyes when I asked for the fifth explanation of when to use regarding versus concerning. Let's talk about emails, because that's where most of us spend half our professional lives looking like either robots or overly casual college students. I used to write emails like this: "I hope this email finds you well. I am writing to inquire about the possibility of scheduling a meeting at your earliest convenience to discuss the aforementioned project deliverables." AI helped me realize this sounded like I was writing a formal letter to the Queen of England, not checking in with my colleague Sarah about the marketing campaign. The AI taught me the magic of natural business language. Instead of "I hope this email finds you well," try "I hope you're doing well," or just skip the pleasantries entirely if you're emailing regularly. Instead of "at your earliest convenience," try "when you have a moment," or "this week if possible." We practiced email scenarios. Following up without being annoying, declining meetings politely, asking for help without sounding desperate. AI helped me develop what I call the professional but human voice, like wearing a suit that actually fits instead of borrowing your dad's oversized jacket. Meetings were my personal nightmare. I'd either say too little and disappear into the conference room furniture, or overcompensate by spouting business jargon like a malfunctioning ChatGPT. AI helped me practice different meeting scenarios. How to contribute to discussions without sounding like you're reading from a script. How to disagree professionally without starting a corporate war. How to ask questions that make you sound thoughtful, not clueless. Point 1 game changer was learning transition phrases that actually work. Instead of "moving forward," I learned to say "going forward" or "next steps." Instead of "at the end of the day," I discovered "ultimately" or "in the end." Small changes, but they made me sound like a human being instead of a business podcast on repeat. AI also taught me the art of the strategic pause. When someone asks a complex question, you don't have to immediately word vomit corporate speak. You can say, "That's a great question, let me think about that for a moment." Revolutionary concept: thinking before speaking. Presentations were where my robotic business English really shined, and by shined, I mean crashed and burned spectacularly. I would craft these elaborate slides full of corporate poetry like streamlining operational efficiencies through innovative technological solutions. AI helped me realize that presentations should tell a story, not read like a business school textbook. Instead of implementing strategic initiatives, I learned to say, here's what we're going to do. Instead of optimizing performance metrics, I discovered making things work better. We practiced making complex ideas simple. AI taught me the grandmother test. If you can't explain your business idea to your grandmother, you probably don't understand it yourself. This doesn't mean dumbing things down, it means making them clear. I learned to use specific examples instead of vague generalizations. Instead of increasing customer engagement, I'd say getting more people to actually read our emails. Instead of enhancing user experience, I'd explain making our website less confusing. The most surprising discovery was that sounding professional isn't about using impressive vocabulary, it's about being confident in your communication. AI helped me practice expressing ideas clearly and concisely, which naturally made me sound more authoritative. I learned that short sentences can be powerful. We need to fix this hits harder than we need to facilitate a comprehensive resolution to this multifaceted challenge. Sometimes the simplest words carry the most weight. AI also helped me develop my authentic professional voice. Not the voice I thought I should have, the one that sounded like every other business person on LinkedIn, but the one that was genuinely me, just dressed up for the office. We practiced handling difficult conversations. How to deliver bad news without sounding like a robot delivering a system error message. How to give feedback that's honest but not brutal. How to negotiate without sounding like you're reading from a hostage negotiation manual. The real test came during a client presentation 6 months into my AI training. Instead of my usual corporate word salad, I spoke naturally. I explained our proposal in plain English, used specific examples, and, here's the kicker, I made a joke that actually landed when the client asked a tough question. Instead of panicking and reverting to buzzword bingo, I said, that's a fair point. Let me break down how we see this working. Clear, confident, human. After the meeting, my boss said something that made my year. You sounded like yourself up there, but professional. That's exactly what we need. That's when I realized the secret to business English. It's not about sounding like everyone else in the corporate world. It's about sounding like the best version of yourself, clear, confident, and genuinely helpful. AI didn't teach me to be a robot. It taught me to be a better human in a business suit. And sometimes, that's the most professional thing you can be. Remember, people don't want to do business with buzzword generators. They want to work with real people who can solve real problems and communicate clearly about it. Your authentic professional voice is your superpower. AI just helps you find it. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I'm Nancy. Keep laughing. Keep learning. And join me next time on Fluent with AI.